Welcome back, everyone. I'm Simon Severino, your personal business coach. Today, I want to share with you a recent conversation of 50 minutes with one of our sprint clients. In that conversation, we have helped them save $180,000. And how did we do it? By cutting on one side and by reinvesting it in the other side, what we call the barbell strategy. 50 minutes, $180,000 saved. Can you do the same? I will share in the next 10 minutes the exact process, and I will share it both with a personal example and with a business example. So in 10 minutes, you have the exact process that I used to save $180,000 for this team. And you can do the same for your life, for your business, for your team. So let's dive into it, right? I call it the barbell strategy because it's a super dual approach. You exaggerate both sides. You ask yourself, how much can I cut in terms of costs from the current budget? And where is it worth investing in even more, splurge, really heavily invest in, because we have now an extra budget. We just cut it on the left, we now reinvest it on the right side. So let me share with you what happened in those 50 minutes. So this team is a team in B2B merchandise. So they build objects that companies then use for their events, for their marketing, for their people to use as a workwear, different things like caps, t-shirts. And we sit down, we go through the P&L and the balance sheet. They send me an hour before a spreadsheet with all the relevant information. And so as soon as we sit together, I created this list, like literally just on the left side, where are we gonna cut? And on the right side, where to strategically invest so that you guys win against your competitors. Of course, as a good consultant does, I've made a quick SWOT analysis of their industry and of their specific team against their three main competitors. So I had an idea of how they can differentiate. And then we sat down together and we just went through the biggest cost positions. You start with your biggest cost positions, and you don't even get to the smaller cost positions. You start with the top 3 cost positions, and you usually, in this exercise, you just need the top 3. Sometimes we get to 5 or 6, but never more than that, because we find already a ton of savings. So your biggest one is probably your personnel, and so start there. The second one is maybe software, maybe hardware, it's maybe knowledge, training. Go there and find what you can cut. Now, I prefer to do it from the investing side. I start with asking myself, how does the dream look like? What does my rich life look like? So let's make an example from your personal budget, personal finances. Ramit Seti asked me once, Simon, what does your rich life look like? And I said, my rich life is I don't have to commute. I can say no to people, places, projects that I don't want to do. And whenever my friends, my wife, my kids say, hey, I want to go there, and maybe it's far away, I can say, sure, let's go there next week, because I own my calendar, and I can decide about how I allocate my time, and I have enough funds to fly everywhere. So that's my rich life. And from there we said, okay, what's the investment needed? Let's say it's a budget for spontaneous flights. It's a budget for splurging into the things that are on my rich life list. Also, of course, I had to invest into digital marketing, because if you don't commute to people, then you have to create inbound systems that bring people to you. And so I had to learn digital marketing. I set aside $30,000, and that was dedicated to book a coach that is a master at digital marketing, email marketing and digital marketing, and I budgeted that. So that's an investment here. And then you can say, okay, where do we take now those 30,000 from? And you can think about cutting things, like, do you really need to own a car versus using one? I went through a spreadsheet and saw that using Uber every time I need it is less costly than owning a car. And so you can do this exercise the same way. Where can you actually cut? And I remember some friends said, Simon, you don't even have a parking place? And I said, no, I don't pay for parking or parking place anymore. Oh my God, you are so cheap. I said, yes, I have a plan. I have a barbell budgeting plan. With some things, these things, I am super cheap. Yes, I'm saving because I'm on a mission. Here, I'm reinvesting it here where it actually sparks joy for me. So it's okay for me if you think that I'm cheap. I have a plan. And I like this plan. So that's on the personal side. Back to the team. We sat down with this team, B2B, merchandise, and we went through the things. The first one was, do you really need a paper catalog? Do you really need to print it? And we were, no, actually, the objects to buy are on our website, so we don't need it anymore. Okay, so that was a big position. And then the next position and the next position. 50 minutes into the conversation, they said, Simon, we have $180,000 identified and saved. That's it. This is the process. You have the process. It's barbell budgeting. You sit down, either alone or with your team, with your spouse, and you do this exercise. On the right side, how does our dream look like? What's our rich life? Or what is our winning marketing formula? What's our winning team? How does that look like? And you identify a few things that you want to strategically, intentionally invest in. And then on the left side, whatever you're currently investing in that's not sparking joy, that's not contributing to that win, to that dream life or rich life, you cut it. It's a very simple exercise. It's not rocket science. The good things are really simple. It's just sitting down and doing it. So let me know in the comments how it went when you tried it. And I'm super curious. And as always, keep rolling, everyone.